Welcome back, one and all. Thank you so much for joining us here on Gamayaaad TV for another video. We are extremely delighted that you have joined us. Now, in this video, we will be looking back on day 3 of the first test between Australia and the West Indies. Day 3 would have ended for the West Indies on a sad note because they would have lost all 10 wickets in the final session of the day. Yielding up a victory for the Australians. They would have won the match by 159 runs, and the Australians would have been led by Josh Hazlewood. He would have taken 5 for 43, and I think it was an impressive bowling spell by Josh Hazlewood, and Nathan Lyon would have picked up the last 2 wickets in 2 balls, right? And that over would have been the last over of the day, and West Indies would have, lost the match in not so, good fashion, for want of a better word. And so Australia would have taken a 1-0 lead in the 3-match test series. Now, I will be looking on the positives and the negatives for the West Indies in this match. As you know, on day 1, 14 wickets would have fallen. Day 2, 10 wickets. And on the final day, day 3, 16 wickets would have fallen. Now, even though West Indies would have lost the match, I believe that there were some really good positives coming out of this first test match. And this is the first test match that we would have played in this 2025 to 2027 World Test Championship cycle, and it's the first test match under our new head coach Darren Sammy and our new captain for the test team, that's Ruston Chase. And we will be dissecting the different aspect of the match. We will be looking on how the wickets would have fallen, how we would have taken wickets, the catching in the match, the fielding, and so forth. Right, and I think I would have mentioned this already in the first innings. Jayden Seales would have taken a 5-wicket haul. I think he would have taken 5 for 60 in that first innings, and I think Jayden Seales and let me just speak, on a comprehensive basis where the bowling is concerned. In this match, I believe is the best I would have seen our seamers bowl collectively, right? I think they were superb, especially Jayden Seales and Shamar Joseph. They would have set the tone at the top. They bowled superbly in the first innings, even though Jayden Seales, in my estimation, it did not start very well, but he finished the day very well, and that is the reason why he would have taken a 5-for, because he came back in the back end of the innings and bowled out the last 4 wickets for the Australians. So I believe that collectively in this match is the first time I would have seen all seam bowlers bowl that very well in terms of their line and length and their consistency in their line and length, right? Shamar Joseph would have taken 9 wickets in the match. I think he was the best bowler by far in this match. And it's very unfortunate that he would have, been on the losing side of the game. But I believe he was superb. He cranked up the pace, when it was needed. And he was just very consistent in terms of, his line and length. He bowled out swingers in swingers. He bowled, bouncers. He was just very, very good in terms of how he, even his delivery selection in certain point in the overs was just very good, and you could see that he was thinking, and he bowled superbly between different batters, and he would have taken even the wicket of Sam Kansas in both innings. So he was excellent, and I think probably the comment that Ian Healy would have made prior to the start of the game, saying that he was not Ambrose, and he has been bowling terribly since that Gaba heroics, and probably Shamar Joseph just saved his best for the Australians, right? Having taken 9 wickets, 4 for 46 in the first innings, and then he returned with a 5-for in the second innings. He was just superb in this match, right? So another high point I want to mention, and this may rub some of our die-hearted fans here in the region. It may rub them wrongly, but I'm going to say it nonetheless, because this is where cricket is going at, and we have to just head up as a team. As I would have said, I would have made a video earlier in the year saying that we need to play a more fearless brand of cricket, and this is what I've seen in this first match from Darren Sammy. I would have mentioned in that video also that when we adapt this brand of cricket, it may mean that we will lose some matches up front or initially, but as we would have over time, when we get the balance in the team, then we will start winning matches. And I would have seen this fearless brand of cricket in this first test match, and it's something that I really I'm not an apologist for Darren Sammy. I'm really here for West Indies cricket, and I really glad in terms of how we would have shown intent in both innings, even though we were skittled out in the final innings for in less than in one session, and we would have been bowled out for 141 runs. But what I did see is the intent of batters to score runs while they are at the wicket, and that is something that I have been saying that we need to be doing. We cannot be in the wicket trying to survive without scoring runs. The currency of a batter is scoring runs, right? So we have to have that intent in terms of scoring runs. But one of the downfalls when I would have watched the second innings is the fact that our batters, they were overly aggressive, right? We have to have controlled aggression in playing test cricket. We cannot be overly aggressive, similar to what we do in T20 cricket. We must be aggressive, but it must be controlled. And if you notice, take Travis Head for example, he was aggressive, right, but he had controlled aggression, and that is the reason why he could have scored 2 50s on this difficult pitch, right, to bat on, right? I mean, there may be arguments that he was given life and drop catches, and that is fair, right? But I'm just saying that he made 2 half-century on a very difficult pitch. The two batting team struggled to make any score on this pitch, right? But he was able to grind out 2 half-centuries on this pitch, and I think he was very superb in both innings. And I think those 2 innings that he would have played for Australia kept Australia in the game, right? And they were able to win the game, right? So as I said, our batters, even though they had aggression, we have to have a controlled aggression, as well as our shot selection. Most of them were very poor. Look at even how John Campbell got out. You can't be doing that at this level. Those kind of shots, second innings, you want to survive and come back, on day 4 to finish the match, because we had time. We had 2.5 days to make 301 runs, right? We can't be giving away our wickets like that. It was just some poor shot selection on the part of the West Indies batters in the second innings, right? And also want to highlight the point, that Shea Hope and Ruston Chase would have made that 67-run partnership. That was a good partnership in the first innings. I believe that I needed to highlight that, even though both of them, they were adjudged out, when in fact when we look back on the TV replay, I think we have other thoughts on the dismissals there. So West Indies, those were the really positive things that I would have seen in the match, and I think we just need to bring everything together in the second match, because I think this Australian team can be beaten, right? So it was just some little things in the match that we did not do very well that caused us to lose this game. right? And one of the big issue was us losing 10 wickets in one session. That is just unacceptable, right, at this level of cricket. In terms of the negative things that would have, come out of this match, we cannot be dropping 7 catches in a match. There is an old cliche that says catches win matches, and that even in the 21st century that still remain, relevant. We cannot, in fact, we need improvement in our slip and gully fielding. I think most of the guys, their position there is just, when you look on the catches drop, it's just poor position from the guys, right? So we have to be better in terms of our slip catching and catching in the gully area as well. So that's something that we need to improve upon in the next test match. The batting collapse. I cannot overemphasize the fact that we have lost 10 wickets in one session. That cannot be acceptable at this level. We have to be better. We have to be better. Poor shot selection, poor application, right? Overly aggressive, right? We have to be controlled in terms of our aggression, right? We have to, still look to score runs, but we have to do that on a basis where we take, less risk, right? So it's something that we need to improve upon as it relates to the second test match. In terms of looking on the Australians, I think Travis said and Bo Webster, they would have made a 100-run partnership. When you think about the context of this game, when they made that partnership in the second innings, that was just that just would have taken the match away from the West Indies. That was superb, right? Travis said would have made 59 and 61 in the match. Alex Carey 65, Bo Webster 63 in the second innings, and that superb bowling spell by Josh Hazlewood 5 for 43 just would have taken away the match from the West Indies. So looking back on the match, in my estimation, I think our bowling attack was really, really good, and I hope that the boys can continue in the second match to be played in Grenada. So I'm looking for a much better performance with the bat, and also in the field, right? We have to work on our slip and gully fielding, right? We are one of the worst team in terms of slip catching and gully catching. That's just unacceptable. We have to be better, right? But as I said, I really like the intent that our batter has shown in terms of they wanting to score runs. Once they are at the wicket, they want to score runs, and they just have to be very much mindful in terms of the risks that they take, but they need to have that intent of scoring runs. So thank you so much for watching this video. Really appreciate your support here on Gamayaaad TV, and have a great day, and please stay tuned to Gamayaaad TV. Much more cricket left to come here. Please remember to hit that subscribe button. Please remember to like the video and also share your comments down in the comment section. Have a wonderful day.
Belo.